Good morning, SQI. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This energy is very low. Good morning, great minds. Okay, we are coming up. If you know and you are certain and you are not begged to be here this morning and you know and it is, confident in your mind, you are confident about it, that you are a great mind indeed. Good morning, great mind. All right, thank you very kindly. I have the pleasure to stand before you on this auspicious occasion of the 7th episode of MindTalk in the year 2024. I want to bring greetings in the name of our director, the rector of the college, the registrar, and every other principal staff, the governing council, to everyone. If you are new to this community, MindTalk is a meeting that we do have every month, every second Monday in every month, and we do discuss stuff that we cannot possibly talk about within the four walls of classroom. I wanted to jump the hands together for everybody involved in organizing this auspicious 7th edition. Can we do that, please, in a jiffy? All right, without further ado and without wasting our time, like I said, protocol, please. These are seats here. I don't know why people are concentrating here, and I am having to, tilt my neck. I want people here too. Protocol, please. Nobody on the white chairs yet. This place, please. Thank you. Thank you, great minds. Thank you, great minds. I want to greet everybody that is tuning in from all the walks of life. People that are not in Nigeria, our people from the global campus, people from all other campuses that we do have, people from Iwo Road campus, people from Dugbe campus, people from Challenge campus, people from OPIC. Can you drop emoji online? Can you celebrate yourself, please? Yes. Yes. I don't like this energy. All right. So, right about now, there's no better way to start this than honoring our dear nation and our great citadel of learning. Please put your hands together as I have the honor of bringing to this podium Mr. Timi Alamu for the national anthem and the school anthem.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, we are sounding so cold this morning. Good morning, everybody. Are you excited to be here this morning? All right, if you're excited, I want to see you on your feet as we honor our dear beloved school and also our nation, Nigeria. Everybody, please be on your feet. All right. So we're going to be doing two things at this section. And the first thing is we're going to be singing the national anthem. And it's not the usual Arise, O Compatriots. It's the new national anthem, right? And then, of course, it's going to be displayed on the screen, so there's no need to worry about anything. And then afterwards, we'll sing our school anthem, which is the SQI school anthem, okay? Are we ready? Are we ready? So I'm going to count down from 5 to 0, and the sound is going to come up, the rhythm is going to come up, and the lyrics is going to be displayed on the screen, and we all sing it together, right? Are we good to go? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Nigeria, we aid our own native land. Truth and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigeria's all, I'm proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Flag shall be a symbol, that shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace over to honor, and these we count as gain. To hand up to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build our nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed. Somebody say, God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. And so be it, amen. Now we sing our school anthem. And I want to believe quite a number of us are familiar with the school anthem, right? And for those of us who just joined us and you've never encountered our school anthem, this is an opportunity for you to learn and then be a part of it. Okay? Are we ready? So at the count of 5 to 0, the sound, the rhythm is going to come up and we'll all sing along. All right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Time. We do not have it all the time, so we cherish every moment and give it all our best. And team, we cannot do it all alone. We believe in team spirit, walking together and mind. The greatest invention of all time, invented by Creator to make us co-creator tech. This is our goal for Africa. For so long we've been receiving, but it's time and we shall give to the world. Making Africa a tech continent. You can do better. Making Africa a tech continent. For the third time, making Africa a tech continent.
Come on, jam your hands together as you take your seat. Come on. Thank you. Thank you very kindly. Thank you. I want to welcome you once again to this great event. Thank you. I'd like you to look at the person seated beside you, give them a warm smile, say something good about them. I want you to compliment their steez, their composure, their courage, their graceful demeanor. All right. Over the weekend, I was somewhere, speaking to young people, and somebody taught us something that I love, and it brings so much nostalgia to me. How many people remember the Atama clap? Do you do? All right. Can we do that? Because as the time goes on today, we might be engaging in that so much. So, Atama, Labako. Some people remember. Labako is how many? Okay, Labarina. You see, I know people will fail that one. Labako is actually not 8. Labako is until you are tired. All right? Atama, Labako. All right, I think I'm the one who messed that up. Labarina comes before Labako. Come on, celebrate yourself this morning. Thank you. Thank you. I believe it is because today is an holiday that people are still going to join us as time goes on. But what I am certain of is that over at some other location, we have more than ×3 of what we do have seated here this morning. So I recognize you people joining us from all our other campuses once again. The Iwo Road campus, the OPIC campus in Abeokuta, Ogun State, the campus at Dugbe, inside Cocoa House in Ibadan, and the one at Challenge and the one at Oshogbo, and of course, the one in Ogumosho here, the main campus. Can we jam our hands together? All right. So every Mind Talk, there are always new people joining us for the very first time, and they'll be wondering, okay, I thought I am coming for class today. Why did they say there's an event upstairs? Why did they say 10 to 10 we should all be inside the main hub? All right. So Mind Talk is that event like I, gave a glimpse into it when I was firstly standing here the other time before we sang the national anthem. It's an event where we address all these necessary aspects of your life, of my life, all the soft skill, all the character-wise attribute that you need to have. Somebody say attitude. It's been said over and over again that our attitude determines our what? The way we will go far in life. So it is very, very true too that there's no way and there's nowhere somebody can grow to if they don't have concrete elements, in their character. They are coming down. All right? So tap your neighbor, tell them, don't come down, though. So if you will not come down, it is not by wishing. I want you to open your mind this morning so that you can receive everything that our speakers have for us. Is that okay? Over the past month, we have considered some episodes, some topics that are very, very... Can we minimize this going and coming, please? Thank you. Over the past episode, the past two, I want to actually reference the past two. 2 months ago, we were talking about what? Can anybody remind me? Something that borders around what? How to do what? You are saying it over there. How to design your life. You remember that one? And who was our speaker? Michael Light Tommy. Is that okay? And we had a whole lot about that. So, last month, I don't think you will quickly forget that. Who was our speaker last month? Come on. Can we echo that? Who was our speaker last month? Yes. So last month we were talking about something that resonated with me so much that I have to go and post on LinkedIn. All right. So what was our discussion last month bordering about? Bordering on? Time and what? Somebody is saying it over there. Be bold, please. Time and what? Come on. SQI. You don't use everything code. We were talking about the intricacy of time and place last month, right? Is that not so? And we had a lot of stuff last month too. I will definitely not talk about it. I want you to visit the page. The page is SQI Studios on YouTube. I can bet that with you. It's something you want to listen to over and over again. It's something you want to play when you are in the bathroom and turn the stereo up. It's something you want to play when you are in the kitchen cooking. It's something you want to listen to when you are sleeping. Is that okay now? Aha. So that is all what Mind Talk is all about. Or let me say little about what Mind Talk is all about. You're going to find out yourself when we dive into today's topic. And what is the theme today? Can we all look at this screen and echo it together? The making of what? The making of what? The making of what? All right, I will not be doing justice to that too, as we have speakers on ground who will tackle that. But right about now, if your hands are not too busy, I want you to give some Labarina clap as I bring forward Mr. Alamolu Akpelumi to give us the MindTalk Book Club recap of the month. Come on, Labarina.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Good morning once again. Good morning, everybody. All right, it's a privilege to be doing this with us, and very quickly we are going to go through the book we read last month. So I'm going to be doing a review, and in case this is your first time being at the Mind Talk, what we do at the book review is that we review the book we read the past month. So since the beginning of this year, we've decided that every month we are going to read a book. All right, we are going to pick a book and we are going to read, and the main reason for that is to help build our mind, is to help build our thought pattern, is to help build our mindsets to the end that we are not just people who have... Hello, are we together? Hello. Please, I want us to pay attention. This is going to be very brief, and I'm going to leave here very soon. So I want us to please pay attention, okay? All right, so I was saying that the aim of the book reading is that we're able to build an LD mindset, all right? SQI is not just a place that gives people skills, just technical skills, just be able to do all of the software work that we do, but it's that we are able to become a people who have healthy mindset that are able to change and shape the world. All right. So SQI College of ICT, as I earlier mentioned, has the capacity to teach you the skills that you need, to become a very good software developer, to become a very good software engineer, to become anything in all of the skills that we offer at SQI. But there's this other thing that SQI runs with. We all know the motto, right? That says making Africa a tech continent. Okay, let's do this. Making Africa a tech continent. Come on, say it after me. Making Africa a tech continent. Now that's the vision that SQI is running with, to make Africa a pool of tech talents. Where we have a lot of people who are who are very skilled, who are very proficient with their tech skills. All right. But now the main reason why we are doing all of that is not just to have a bunch of people who are very good software engineers, but because we want to have solutions. All right. Most of the solutions that we have to today's problem that are tech inclined comes from outside of Nigeria. Abi, is that right? Is that right? So most of us now are looking forward to getting skills and then maybe going outside of Nigeria or working with some of those big companies. While that is very good, one of the main things that SQI is running with, that is driving SQI, is to see that we're able to produce people that are able to provide solutions to the problems of people. Do you understand? So we want to raise a couple of people. We want it to be that as we have all of these people sitting, as we have all of us sitting down here, we know that as we increase the number of solutions that we have to the problems that we face in Nigeria, in Africa, and outside Africa is also the number of solutions is also increasing. So this is what I mean. So we have 3 people studying software engineering. Now we know that we do not just have 3 people who are tech skilled, 3 people who are very skilled, but we have 3 people who are able to provide solutions to the problems that we have around. So we have 3 individual persons who are coming with different perspectives to a problem. 3 individual persons who are able to approach 3 problems differently and able to solve the problems. Do you understand? So we are not just willing to raise a lot of tech people and just say, oh, we have plenty tech guys, go motion now. We have plenty guys, my idea of software engineers before I go to SQI, I used to be like people that wear shorts and sneakers and have dreads. They sit down at home, they code, all of that soft life. They have money. Tech bro. When you hear somebody say tech bro, it's somebody that has money. So what do you want to be? People say tech bro. Sometimes it sounds like an alternative to Yahoo that I'm going to be hardworking. I'm not going to steal like the Yahoo boy. I'm going to be hardworking. I'm going to make money. But the idea is that you have money, you are just fine, and you are working in Google. You are working outside of the country. It's very nice. It looks very cool. But that's not the end. The end is that you as a person, you're able to provide a solution to a problem. Do you understand? But now, most times, one of the challenges that we now have is finding, number 1, that problem, and then number 2, solving the problem or finding the solution to that problem. And then the third thing is being able to implement that solution. Do you understand what I'm saying? So 3 things. You can find the problem, you can find the solution, and then you can also find a way to ideate, to bring to life that solution that you have. So you can find out that, okay, there's a problem with people coming to SQI, or maybe there's a problem with light or something. You found out, okay, there's a problem with electricity, Abi. Now the person now goes ahead to find out, okay, I can tap electricity from the sun. So the person has an idea that there's a way I can tap electricity from the sun that will not be so, expensive. That's the second stage. Now the third thing is bringing to life that idea. Do you understand? That's 3 steps. The person that invented solar found out there's a problem with electricity, and then the second thing he did was to find out how he can generate electricity without petrol, without wasting so much money on something just cheaper. And then the person invented solar, and now the person will have it in mind, but for him to be able to bet that stuff, for him to be able to bet that idea, is also another process. Now that last phase of, or maybe let me say the whole phase of finding the problem, finding the solution, and bringing the solution to life is what this book, Still Like an Artist, is one of the very major things that it addresses. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? The way we're all looking at me. Okay. Alright. So let me just go straight into it. So this Still Like an Artist, it's as Austin Kleon gave 10 things. It says 10 things nobody told you about being creative. 10 things that you can do to become a very creative person. And when we talk about being creative, it is not just some people in the arts, it is not just people in the UI UX class or people that have things to do with things that are related with art. Do you understand? I just mentioned now that there are problems that people face every day. All right. And one of the reasons why we are learning all of the skills that we are learning is to be able to tackle those problems and find solutions to them. All right. Now, in finding solutions to that problem, you have to be very creative. There's a way you can. Okay, I think I have an example already. There's a way you can solve the problems that people have that it is different from the way every other person is doing it. But before I give my example, let me just say this. So, Austin Kleon wrote this book, and there are about 10 chapters in the book where he gave different solutions, different ideas, different things that can help you become a very creative person. And what led him to sharing this was because he found out that while in his many years of experience as an artist, there are ways he found out there are ways to do things better. And then he was like, instead of just sharing them with artists alone, he thinks these ideas will also work for anybody. We are able to be a very creative person, and then you put down those thoughts together, and that's what we're going to be checking very quickly. But then I won't be able to share the 10 of them. I'm just going to share quite a couple of them. If you've been joining, and this is one thing I also want to say, if we give a book to read, it is very important that we read them, because they were carefully chosen to help us become very good persons, all right, to help us become people with bright minds. So I'm going to start with the first chapter here. The first chapter here is titled after the book. It says, "Still Like an Artist." And I'm looking for a way to put all of this together and it won't be clustered. Things that have been learned and found that can be applied. Okay. So there are 3 main things I would like to say. And the first thing is that the first major thing that was written in this book is that ideas are not original. And I think there was a time that JD also mentioned something like that when we did Think Gig. Ideas are not original. And what it means is that any idea that you have today, any idea that you come up with, anything that flashes through your mind as a solution to problem that people face, isn't really original. And the writer of this book made reference to a passage of the scripture that says in Ecclesiastes 1:9 that there is nothing new under the sun. How many of us have read that statement, that verse of scripture? That there is nothing new under the sun. Can you please raise your hand? Let me see. There is nothing new. I think it's in Yoruba film. Ani kosi ohun tuntun lábẹ́ ọ̀run or something like that. There's a way they see it. And there's also this one that they said, "Àríwẹ̀rì, àfi dẹ́rù bọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ ni." So what he was trying to say was that ideas are not new necessarily. There are many things that crosses your mind. There are many things that comes to your mind, and it's not like they are fresh. Or maybe they are fresh, but it's not like they are completely new or out of the blues. They have been originated somewhere. Somebody somewhere has also had that idea in mind. And the reason why I mentioned that was because once you have an idea, it means that there is somebody else that must have had that same thought before. There's somebody else that should have thought about something along that line. So you might be thinking, oh, I have this idea now, but how will I bring it to life? Because it is new. You are thinking it is just, there's nobody else that has thought about it. But as you begin to do your research, you begin to find out that there are persons that have thought about that idea, and there are things that those people have found solutions to that are also along that line. So let me use this example again of this solar panel. Now, why this person thought about finding solution to the problem of electricity and solar? I'm very sure that all of the components that are involved in making a solar panel were not direct ideas of that person. Do you agree with me? So there might have been things that the person might know that, if I put this together, maybe somebody created, I don't know the component of a solar panel, so I can't really give. Should I use a camera? I think I'm more used to the camera, so let me use the camera. So this is the camera now, and there are many components in the camera, but if I use the camera, will you understand? Oh my God. Okay, so there are many components in the camera now, and let me go back to the solar panel. There are many components in the solar panel, and the person was trying to find solution to the problem of electricity. But some of the maybe diodes or stuffs that are inside the solar panel would not have been the person's original idea. So the person noticed that this part of this maybe electric part or something, this motor or something, this electric motor. If I take this thing and I put it towards the sun and I do this and I do that, these things that various people have created, and I put everything together, I should be able to get this idea that I have in mind. And so the person put together different people's idea and then was able to reach his own idea. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So they might have been that, okay, you have an idea in mind. There is something, there's a solution. Yes, there's a solution you are trying to solve. Yeah, there's a solution you are trying to bring. There's a problem you are trying to solve. Abi, so you're not like, okay, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a code for it. Remember that code that you are using, that language you are using, somebody wrote that language, somebody created that language. Abi, so you have something in mind, you have something you want to solve, you have a problem you want to solve, but that code, all of those other things you are using, it is not necessarily a product of your own thinking alone. So you've stolen and that's where the topic even came from. You've stolen different people's ideas, you've stolen different people's work, and you're putting it together to create your own work. Do you understand? So that was what he was trying to address in the first place, in the first chapter, that stealing like an artist, it doesn't necessarily mean you go ahead stealing people's property. That's very wrong. If you get caught, I'm so sorry, whatever will happen to you. But then stealing means that you draw from here, you draw from here, you draw from here, and then at the end you make reference to those people too. At least that's what shows that you really do not steal. So let me just go on to the next thing so that you won't get bored. What I'm saying, if you read the book, it is actually very interesting. So okay, I wanted to make an example under this first topic about ideas that people get, and I was going to use edu.sqi. So over time, there are a lot of ideas. There are quite a number of problems that people have, tech problems, and then many people at a point were running towards okay, we can solve financial problems. Abi, so many people were running towards financial problems. So we have a lot of bank apps. There's even a time that there was OPay, Cash, all of those things were just coming up, and sometimes you be confused. You are looking like, which one should I even use? Because there are a lot of adverts on YouTube. You are like, which one exactly should I use? Now, while all of that was going on, while people were thinking of, okay, let me delve into bringing financial solutions, let me do this, let me do that, people were having ideas. A lot of people were getting ideas that, okay, let me do this. Now, somebody somewhere now sat down, was like, okay, I can look for another solution to another problem. And now in the case of edu.sqi, if I'm right, is I don't want to be wrong, is it a school management system or organization? Okay, school. Okay. edu.sqi is an institutional management system, and in case you don't know what edu.sqi is about, you can see maybe Mr. Blessing, you can see Prof. He will tell you more about edu.sqi. edu.sqi is one of SQI's software. All right, so yeah, it's not like we are just teaching you. We also have software that SQI has produced, and edu.sqi is a very good app, tested and trusted over many organizations. So now edu.sqi is a mix of different people's ideas. All right, so there's something that came from edu.sqi is focused on solving educational problems that are related to school management problems, all right? But now there are people that have been solving other management problems. In trying to create edu.sqi, you must have, people must have sat down and looked at, okay, there are other management apps, there are other management softwares, and now to be able to create our own software, we must first look at what are the softwares that people have created, what are the things that people have done, what are the solutions that these people have provided. Now you now see, look, that okay, this is the solution they provided, and you are now going to, in creating edu.sqi too, you are not going to do away with those solutions. You are also going to bring them inside. So that looks like stealing, Abi. So you are taking what somebody have created and you are then bringing it back. But then you now look at it again. Okay, what is the thing that they did not do well? What is the other part that they've not added? What is the other part that should be added? What other things will people? I'm using this example because most of us are software guys. That's why. I'm not a software person. So you now begin to check what are the examples these people have used, what are the things they've done wrong, what are the things they can do better, and then you now merge all of those things together to create your own. Do you understand what I'm saying? Alright, let me just go to the next one. So this next one says, this is just another random pick that I made from all of the 10 chapters. And this one says, like, in trying to be creative and to get very creative ideas and to implement them, that you have to practice what we call productive procrastination, where you have, and what it means is that you have a lot of things you are doing at a time. You have quite a number of things you are doing together, and then you can just leave this one to go to the next one. You can just, let's say you are writing or you are calculating. So you have two things you are doing, you are writing and you are calculating. So you are writing and then you get to a point that you stop, the ideas are not flowing anymore. You can drop it, move on to calculation, calculate a little and drop it. And then you now get to a point that it now says you can even drop everything and decide to get bored. And this getting bored is even one of the things that, bored as in B-O-R-E-D. How many of us have been bored before? Wow. How many of us have been bored before? Like you didn't know what to do, you just sat down and you're just wondering, what should I do? Most times, what people do in those cases, they switch to movies, and I think it's not a very good thing to do. Like when you are bored and you just switch to movies, you just find something very interesting. Although there is a desire to get something very interesting to do, but it is that point when you are bored that most times you get ideas. For me, most times when I'm in the bedroom, I'm just there. I don't know what to do. So I take long. I stay long in the bedroom sometimes. But what happens is because I even have a book where I write. I have a book in my room where I wrote ideas in the bedroom. So I have plenty of ideas that I got in the bedroom and I write them down because I'm just there, and then your brain now begins to work. You are not glued to your screen. And that's one other thing that Austin Cleon mentioned. When you are not just glued to your screen, when you are not just used to checking social media, there's something that always fills up the space in your mind. But at the point where you are bored, where there's nothing you are doing, where there's nothing filling up your mind, you can get ideas. And as you now get ideas, you can now get the way to solve those problems, the way to bring those ideas to life. Do you understand? So you are standing, you are walking, you can take a long walk, you can just pick up a book and decide to write something. You don't know what you want to write, just start writing, and then you begin to have ideas. Do you understand? You begin to have ideas, you begin to see things that have become problems, you begin to see ways through which things can be solved. You can stay at maybe the chair now and you're wondering, okay, what if this chair can be like this? All of the ideas that came from this same pattern, I strongly believe, because somebody somewhere was just watching something like, okay, why is this thing like this? I think there's this popular story of, I can't remember the man's name, that watched apple fall from a tree. Sir? Yes, Isaac Newton. And that's single scenario of him watching, he was bored, so he just sat down thinking, and apple fell down from tree and was wondering, okay, what caused gravity and all of that stuff. And from there we have a lot of solutions to the problem of the world now. By what? By getting bored. So whenever it is that you don't have anything to do, or even if you have something to do, you can just decide to, if it's not urgent, you can just leave those things, sit down, take a brief look, just be calm, just get bored. That's the word. Bored. Be bored. Intentionally get bored. Whenever you're bored and wondering, oh, let me find a movie. No, wait. Get bored first. At that point might be the times where idea might come in. I don't know who was saying it, but the person was saying that ideas don't come every day. Okay, I think it was Mr. Leke Alda. Do you know how many of us know Leke Alda? How many of us? Wow. So I want you to please write the name down. Leke, Leke, Yoruba name, Alda. Alder. You can check him out on YouTube. Like that's one very good place where you can also get ideas. There are many wise things the man says that will definitely help. So he was saying something and it was like, ideas do not come every day. So you should have almost always with you a pen and a paper where you write down the ideas that comes to you. Do you understand? And that was one of the things that Austin Cleon also mentioned. It was like, you should take around with you a paper, take around with you a pen where you put down all of the ideas that come to mind. You can never tell where an idea will come. You can be walking around, just like I mentioned earlier. You can be doing anything. You might have stopped coding. Probably you are coding and then you're already tired, because it can be tiring at times. At that time might be at a proper time where an idea can come to you. Put it down. Keep all of your ideas in a place. And I'm already mentioning many things that Austin Cleon mentioned. So you can put, and the way Austin Cleon addressed that thing is, he was saying that save up your thefts for later. So the ideas you stolen from many people, there are things you stolen from many people, and you can put all of those things and save them up. Alright. So he also mentioned something called a swipe file. And what the swipe file is, where you keep all of your ideas. So, and it says something about the swipe file. A swipe file is just like having a small sheet like this, where you write down all of the ideas that you have at a point. Okay, you saw something now, and then you put it down. And then the next minute, you saw another thing, you put it down. You saw something about somebody's dress, maybe a shoe that Nike made, and you're wondering, oh, why couldn't they have made it like this? I think it would be better, put it down. At that point might not be the time where you'll be able to bring that thing to life, or where you'll be able to criticize it, but you can write things down in your swipe file to keep them. And then in the day that you now need to be inspired, you can now go back to that note, you can now go back to that sheet, and then find all of those ideas. And then you begin to wonder, oh, you mean I wrote down all of these things? And then you begin to get new and fresh inspirations. You begin to see the way you can bring other ideas to life. Do you understand? So there are many apps, there are many softwares that are being created now. There are many more, and even though we have many softwares created, we still have many more problems that are yet to be solved. We still have many things that have not been touched yet. And so you can just sit and then observe those things, check all of those things. Okay, how can I do this? How can I do this? At that point, it might not be where you get the problem. It might not be where you get the solutions to that problem. But as you discuss it with people, which even lead me to the next book, because I'm running out of time already. as you discuss these things with people, you begin to find out that, okay, these things can be done this way. So you have an idea and then you share it with somebody. Although when you share it with the person, you might find out that, okay, the person doesn't see that idea also as new, which shows you again that nothing is new under the sun, as it were. But the two of you can now come and arrive at a point where you now, so you have part A of the solution. This person has part B of the solution. As you now speak and come to an agreement, you talk about the problem, you can now use the part C, the next step of the solution. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. So the other thing I'm going to mention, which is the third thing that Austin Cleon mentioned, and mind you, there are 10 things. I'm just mentioning 3 things. The next one you mentioned was be nice. Be very, very nice to people. There are many stuffs online about that, like be nice. There are many lessons. There are many lessons I've also learned personally about being nice. You can never tell who will be the person that would help you give life to the idea that you have. So and being nice can also help you to derive ideas from people. You might meet somebody, maybe while you are being nice, you can meet somebody that has a very superb idea, and the person begins to share with you and like, oh wow, this thing can be done this way. And then as you guys now begin to relate well, you now begin to see how you can make the world truly a better place. And I want to say this again, that be nice. I've been around a couple of people at SQI and I'm wondering, why are these people like this? Like, SQI is a very lovely place. You should be nice to everybody. I've seen people, I think I recognize most of these faces, and I've related with most people, and most people are not really nice actually. For real, you want to greet somebody and the person is not even responding to you, and I'm like, why now? We are all here together. So be nice to people, offer people seats, speak to people, be very, very relatable. All right. Now let me go to the next book, and the next book is also part of what Austin Kleon wrote here, in how to bring your ideas to life. Many times, okay, I think it was director that was sharing one time that when we had the last Mind Talk, and he was sharing how that he used to share his ideas with his previous friends, and then they would be like, sometimes they criticize the stuff, sometimes they talk it down and do all of that stuff. One thing I've observed, that sharing your ideas, I'll soon be true, all right? But I'm about to talk about the next book, and I was talking about sharing the idea. One thing that sharing the ideas does to you that I've noticed is that it can, number one, help you criticize what you are doing, help you truly test what you are doing. So as you begin to share things with people, you can first get an insight, a deeper insight on what you are supposed to do. So you share an insight with somebody, and the person is like, oh, I've seen that happen a couple of times. I share an idea with somebody, and the person is like, oh, why don't you do it like this? Why don't you do it like this? Why don't you do it like this? Actually, if I eventually make use of what that person said, I've stolen part of that person's idea, because I have an idea and then the person gave me another insight on how to make that thing better. He shared something with me, all right, and then it was not originally mine, it was from him, so I put it and I added to my own. All right, now one other thing that sharing ideas will also do to you is that the first thing I said, that it can help you get deeper insight, it's also that they can help you criticize the things you are thinking about. There are many times I've thought about things and I'm like, this thing will work. This thing will work. I just have the idea and you're like, this thing will work. And then you give it a little time, you share with somebody, and the person is like, what about this? What about this? This person puts maybe like 10 questions for you and wondering, oh, I didn't think about all of these things. At least I've seen that happen quite a number of times in UI UX class. How many of us are UI UX students here? Wow, no UI UX students. Okay, we have about 3 or 4. Amazing. So Mrs. Owusi sometimes will be criticizing their work, and I'm like, why are you asking them so many questions? Like, let them, they will say, let people breathe. Like, calm down, let these people breathe. But once she asks them all of these questions, the questions are truly genuine. Now, what those people are doing is that they are sharing their work. They are showing the work that they've done. And now, what Mrs. Owusi will now do, like, and Mrs. Abigail will now be like, okay, this thing you shared is true, but what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And then you now go back, if you are very diligent, and I don't know how to put it, like you are resilient. What you now go back to do is to check again that, okay, how can I add all of these questions that they've asked? How can I now find a way to solve all of these problems and add it to them? That's the second thing that sharing your work people does. Now, but then there's also a way that those things are being done. There's also a way you share your work. There's also a way you show your work. You don't just show your work to anybody. The director told us about that last month. There are some persons you can share with, and your idea will die forever. You forget about it. But there are some persons you can share with that will help bring to life that idea you have. All of that is just to say that there is a way to share the work, and that is one of the things. That's what Sinclair wrote in this second book, Show Your Work, which is book we are going to be reading in the month of July this month. And it says 10 ways to share your creativity and get discovered. 10 ways to share your creativity and get discovered. You can have a very bright idea. You've already found the solution to your problem. You are working it out already. Everybody's, every close person you share it with are like, oh, this is a very bright thing. But you might not be discovered. You are just somewhere in Ogumosho and people are wondering, what are you doing in Ogumosho? SK has been like that at the point that, you people are very bright. What are you doing in Ogumosho? And they're like, no, we just have to be in Ogumosho. People are like, you should be here. There's a way to get discovered and there's a way to share your creativity. And that's what this second book addresses. Although I would have loved to share it with us, but I want us to read so that we can unveil and find out all of these things that are in this book ourselves. It's a very good thing to read. There's a saying that knowledge is power. The difference between you and another person can be the little thing that you know. The difference between the way I will make amala and the way another person will make amala is the knowledge that we both have. We can get it from a book. I can prepare it in a way that is bad, and somebody else can prepare it in a very good way. The difference there is knowledge. So what can set you apart from other persons is the knowledge that you have. So I hope that we would put efforts together to read this book. Thanks so much for having me.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Wow. So I think that's a Labarina, right? It deserves it. If we have left Mr. Alamu alone, when you discover that you are not actually the only one that got the F, maybe your best friend, you are 3 in your caucus, 2 of you had gotten it, all of you, then you begin to have some joy, some strange joy. Some senseless joy. You made effort, but because you are not the only one. All right, so I can see some really good. We established the last month that the benefit of reading cannot be overemphasized. Is that okay? There's just this thing that is, different about people who read. Is that not so? It's just different about them. You just see that when they open their mouth to talk, they use some words to be like, what? Where is that coming from? Is that not so? If not for any other thing, for you to change your vocabulary. Have you been asked that? Where are you from? Are you from Ogumosho? You heard where I call it? Ogumosho? People will ask you often time like that. Are you from Ogumosho? No. You don't look like you are from Ogumosho. The difference, like my friend said, is the knowledge you have. And how does knowledge come? One of the cheapest way in our generation that you can get knowledge is through reading. If you're somebody who is jumping around and you want to tame yourself, you want to really learn how to be calm and composed, you want to learn to have steez, right? Like you call it, just emanate this habit of reading. You will just become a gentleman very soon. So I don't want to waste our time again. Please bring back the last slide. I want people to actually type this or write it somewhere. Every Friday, 8 p.m. This is the link, bit.ly/MindTalkR. So I don't know why they did not put the WhatsApp group there, but I believe every student is part of SQI community group. So this information will always be dropped on the community group too. Please endeavor to join. It's just about 35 to 1 hour meeting where we talk about stuff like this and we get ahead. All right, celebrate yourself for the patience thus far. All right, is somebody ready to learn this morning? We have several activities into this Mind Talk, but the very first talk that we are going to have this morning is dubbed SQI and AI. What do I call it? Oh, come on, give it to me. SQI and what? All right, and I have the pleasure of having Adeyemi C. Aderinto, the director of SQI College of ICT, anchoring that.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. You may have your seat. Thank you so much. I am so excited to be with us today. I'm always excited. And I always look forward to the time when I meet people 5 years, 10 years after, and I get a very bright testimony. That day that I attended so program, one word that you said changed my direction forever. And that's why today I am the CEO of Google Corporation Worldwide. I hope that will happen one day. Somebody's claiming that already. Claim it with Labarina for yourself. Okay, that's wonderful. Mr. Akpelume did a great job with the book review. I thought he's a designer. I thought he's a graphics designer and a videographer. I didn't know he's also a hacker because I did not show my notes to anyone. So if anyone is going to be saying what is in my notes, that person must have hacked into my notes. Now, I'm seeing how I'm going to change so many things he has stolen already. Okay. So many things I'll be talking to you about. Fortunately, it's going to relate with what Pelumi have said to you. And I want you to please take it to heart. Very, very powerful. You know, before you start becoming successful, you think success is impossible. You think it's so hard. And then after you've gotten to that mountain, you just seem to understand that why is success so easy? Are you with me? So now there are some little things that people that have gone ahead of us usually share with us that we don't pay attention to. You feel it can't be that serious. And there are some of it that I'll be sharing with you today, which I can assure you that if you take that, even that alone to heart, that alone, oh my God, it can make your success certain. That you will not just learn software engineering, learn UI UX design, learn hardware engineering and so on, and you still feel like with all that I can do, why are things not working for me? You know, it happens like that. You have a great idea, and then you keep on wondering. 3 years, 5 years, nobody's looking at your side. Not a single customer, not a single investor. It's just one thing that might be missing. So that might be the thing we'll be addressing today. Because I will be sharing with you a story about SQI. And since I just have less than 1 hour with you, I'm going to summarize it because that's like a 16 years journey. You get what I'm talking about. So I'm going to summarize it and focus the story just on one thing. A lesson. There are so many lessons, but a lesson that I believe is the most important. That doesn't really look like how intelligent people that runs SQI are, how creative they are, but a particular lesson that I feel is much more important. If we have the slide, we can bring it up now. So the lesson I want you to watch out for, why telling you about the history of SQI? By that time, we bring it to the scholarship program, and then we bring it to the theme of the scholarship program. So that's like in 3 sessions, okay? So one thing I want you to look out for in that journey is the word resilience. Somebody say resilience. Say resilience. Who can give us resilience, the meaning of resilience in Yoruba? What does it mean to be resilient in Yoruba? Aforiti. Iteramo ifarada. Agidi. Agidi nko? Konigba. Which other one? Akpon. That one sounds deep. But I'm not sure. Do we have anybody that's a Igbo here? You are Igbo. Where is he? He's not here today. Any Hausa person here? Any Hausa person here? Akwabi? There are plenty. Oh yeah? Give me a word for resilience. Agidi konigba. Oh yeah, give me. I need that word. Any bold Hausa person here? That's where we are going to. Now we have started. Oh yeah, 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 give it to us. Okay, it's among the technical team. Oh yeah, yeah, come. I have your microphone here. Mr. Alphonsus.
Resilience in Hausa. One is Nachewa.
Najewa.
Nachewa.
Najewa.
Nachewa.
Najewa.
Nachewa. That is moving on even when things are not seemingly the way they are supposed to be.
Say it again, please.
Nachewa.
Okay, Nachewa.
Yes.
And if Hausa is going to pronounce, how do they pronounce? Because I know their pronunciation is always with
Yeah, that's why I said Nachewa.
Nachewa. Hey,
Yes.
see your hand. A round of applause for him, please.
You could also say
Okay.
Korjini.
Konji.
Korjini.
I am resilient.
Yes.
So
That's I think it's the same word for persistence and resilience. So Korjini could be resilience.
why are you doing like this as you are saying? Thank you so much. Please appreciate him once again. So as we go on, I want you to pay attention to the power of resilience in the journey of SQI. And I would like you to also apply the same thing. Recently, I've been getting some wonderful news that, gives me so much excitement that, wow, we've been doing a lot. We've been able to give birth to a lot of other startups. Some of them has been hiding from mentioning it that they finished from SQI before. One of them is the CTO of, I won't mention the name because he doesn't want it to be, that loud. But they are into this card system, this train system. He didn't mention it. Of course, I do not remember him as well. Until the day he needed SQI's app. And then he had to government to reach SQI. Then when he realized that it's this difficult, he now mentioned that, and I finished from SQI, for him. So those news in Jaws, like two startups in Jaws that are doing greatly right now, they came out from this gathering as well. And we are looking at seeing the same thing. But I want you to take note of this as we continue. Don't forget that I said you should listen or try to observe the power of resilience in the journey and the story that I'll be sharing with you. I wish I brought some pictures here today that will make you laugh. The 16 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, and then you look at people and you laugh. So people can change like this, So please note this down. Note this down because it might be the only thing you'll be going on with. And I would not want any one of us to miss it. There is no better foundation for success than the ability to bounce back from failure. And this is known as resilience. I say it again. There is no better foundation for success. Underline the word foundation. Underline the word success. Than the ability to bounce back from failure. Underline the word failure. And this is known as resilience. Underline the word resilience. So what we have in those words is that we have underlined is foundation, success, failure, and resilience. So the foundation there is resilience. So resilience is like foundation for success. If you don't have it, anything you are building, you keep collapsing. You build 10-story building on it, it collapses. No matter what you do. So you have to ensure that foundation is there. And another critical word there is the word failure. Now I would like to say this about failure. Until you start getting excited at failures and challenges, you are not ready for a big success. Until you start getting excited at failures and challenges, you are not ready for a big success. You are not ready. Just go and sleep. and wait till you are 80, 90 years old. Then you can log out. Because what is success? Success is bringing out something different from a failure, something you are saying that is a failure. I recognize the presence of the rector of SQI College of ICT. You are welcome, sir. I will appreciate it if you can move closer so that you can empower my resilience as I am speaking here. You are very welcome, sir. So you will see example of what I have mentioned right here, right now. Sometimes when the speaker asks for something and you know that thing, but the fear that you might be wrong will make you not to speak. And then the whole place will be silent. You know what you are afraid of? Failure. You are afraid of being wrong. Now you know it, but the fear kept you from the, what do you call it? From the applause, the ovation. You miss the success. That's how it will keep happening. And maybe you should start changing it from here, right here. Just speak. Like be excited at, oh, I was embarrassed yesterday. I said rubbish. But after the rubbish, somehow you will get corrected. You have grown. You have gotten better. You won't say that rubbish again. Now you know more. You get what I'm talking about. And because the knowledge came with an emotion, when a certain knowledge comes with emotion, its emotion helps to imprint it in your heart. When you are happy about something, when you are excited about something, you tend to remember that thing. Or when you are sad about it. But when you are neutral about something, you tend to forget easily. Are you following me? That's why if I keep on telling you about, try to be better in life now, be serious with life, you may not retain that exhortation, okay? But when I put it this way, and then that one will make you feel hot, right? You will not forget. 10 years later, you hate me for it. You might have now been successful. Are you getting me? Because of that statement, but you hate me for it. Because of the emotion. The time, there was this day, my very dear sister, just dropped at work. She just dropped, poof, at work. And they couldn't get an ambulance on time. They also seek for an helicopter ambulance. They said there was an accident, so the helicopter ambulance was also busy in another place. And they had to take her from that town where she was to a city where there is a big hospital where they can handle such situation. And she has stopped breathing. Now, after everything, she's alive now. After everything, I asked her what happened. She did not remember anything. She didn't remember anything. She said she just appeared at the hospital and she saw everything on her body. It was because the event wasn't attached to any emotion. Nothing to imprint it. Okay. So, do we have it ready? Or should I give you more time? Okay. So, talking about SQI, I want you to know that it has always been about solving problems. People encourage you to go into entrepreneurship with sweet words. If you look underneath, those people want to sell something to you. Because their words are not true. Sweet words. You can't be doing 9 to 5. Have your time to yourself. Abi? Entrepreneurship is 12 to 12. You have no life of your own again. 247. Thank you. Until you are able to break through, fight through, then you can now begin to have your time to yourself. When you go into entrepreneurship, you don't have time at first. It's all about solving problems. It's not a life of comfort, You see people on the yacht, all right? on the sea, enjoying themselves, champagne, okay? Big man, you hear figures, billion, right? Go and ask for the time they started. You don't want that kind of life. They are very mean life. So generally, life is for solving problems. The day you stop solving problems, you are no longer useful. Nature itself will tell you that you are no longer useful. Come and be going. And that is why when you think you have money, you don't want to suffer again. In fact, you don't want your feet to touch the ground again. You want to be inside the car every day, inside the AC. In 5 to 10 years, the doctor will advise you that you should start walking. Else you will die soon. Why? Because you have been telling your legs you are useless. So nature is already taking it away. Kolomo. Oh yeah, bawamu. Bawamu. The same way with the brain. When you stop using it, oh yeah, emwa. Okay? So that's why you should enjoy problems. These kids that used to say, problem always. That should be your slogan. Problem. Just be looking for problem to solve. And it's a lifestyle you eventually enjoy because you will feel alive, especially when you see the results of solving those problems. So SQI is all about solving problems. The people that came together to SQI at that time, we didn't have jobs, no jobs. No job. But we could have been complaining about no jobs. So instead of complaining, we felt, okay, why don't we solve that problem? All right? There was so much unemployment. The economy was bad. So what should I be saying now? And then there was bad reputation. You can't go anywhere outside Nigeria, especially in the Western nation, and not feel embarrassed. One way or the other, you feel embarrassed. My sister said until she was able to grow out of it that doesn't matter. She used to claim Ghana. So I grew up in Nigeria, but I was born in Ghana. Yes, she was born in Ghana, but why say, you are a Nigerian? No, the reputation was so bad. Yahoo boys thought they were taking back what was taken away from them, but they caused us so much damage. That's why you could not have a billion unicorns in Nigeria. Billions of dollars. How many Yahoo boys have made $1 million? How come she scavenge and Jiwokiri? But they have caused us to lose billions of dollars, billions of investment, because so many stories I've heard from SQI alumni. They are so great. And I mean anywhere in the world. Put them beside anybody in the world, they are great. You guys are great. But they will say, maybe they have been able to convince with their level of expertise, and everything, and the investor is excited. But the moment he mentioned Nigeria, he stopped responding to messages. He didn't want to be scammed. So he stole a little, and they advised you that you should steal as an artist. You are stealing like, I don't know what to call it. So the reputation was so bad, which is a struggle. So if you have two people, if you have an Indian guy that knows 1% of what a Nigerian knows, they will prefer. So I am going to tell you how we solve these things. For unemployment, that one is more serious. And this is exactly what started SQI. We realize that as things are going, if we do not do anything about it, it's going to become, if there is another word after worse. What did we notice then? As at that time, in 1999 going to 2000, 2001, before all these ISPs began to come in, what they call them, MTN, we have Econet. Econet was for us. Then, MTN, later Glo. That time, we already have emails. That was the first thing that spurred me like, what is this? Something huge is going to happen. And it's not going to be smiling at us here in Africa at all. Because then we send letters by writing. You put it in an envelope, white envelope. You buy stamps. You put stamps depending on where you are sending it to. Then you take it to post office, you send the letter. Then they send it back, you go to your post office box. If you have had post office box, that's what it means. It used to be like a box like this. So you go and find your letter there. People that were poor then cannot have a box. So we usually use in care of. It means they send it to the box of another person. When that person sees your letter, he will now bring it to you. So you put it in care of that person. They will send it to that person. Then we realized that email came. My first email was opened for me by someone in the US. The person who opened the email, he now sent the password and the email both to a cyber cafe. Here, password to someone. I could not access computer myself. So the person will now take, as if, Babalawo Wonu Lelo. The person will now take the username and password, go inside one room, and print the email out for me. But one thing I observed about that was that he called and said he has sent the letter now, and I'm getting it now. I say, yay, trouble. And I saw it that post office is going to be phased out, and it's now phased out. Now the problem is, everybody that was working there that time, there will be some people working there that they think they will work it for their children to also work at the post office, but it's no longer existing. Unfortunately, those that created the email are in California, Gmail. Gmail also has its own staff. Over 100,000 staff, over 200,000 staffs. But those staffs, those people are there. It means those people that were supposed to be employed there has been transferred to that place. That's one batch, gone. Then I realized that this is going to happen to other fields as well. Banking, if nothing is done, we'll stop going to the bank, and people working there will no longer be there. No job for them again. That one also will be gone to California. Education also. As the way education is going, I'm telling you, the moment you have a very good internet and stable power, you will feel reluctant coming physically to school. And you know those who are driving that path so much, is still there. So if this keeps happening, no one in Nigeria will have a job again. Nobody. Then we came up with SQI. Next slide. So we now we face it with two approaches. We have the solutions and the training. The solutions and the training. Because before then, people used to believe that anything technology is made by Ajeoyinbo. What does that mean? A normal person cannot do it. It's impossible. Are you getting that? So you have to remove that impossibility in people's mind. And all they just need is for someone that looks like them to do it. Are you following what I'm talking about? Someone that looks like them to do it. That's why whenever I'm on the radio program, I love to mention Yoruba names that are working in Google, Microsoft that finished from here. So that when you hear a name that sounds like your name, you feel like, yes, I can do it too. You get what I'm talking about? So the solution arm of SQI is known as SQICT Consultants, not SQI College of ICT. The solution arm of SQI created the edu.sqi software. The edu.sqi software is an amazing software, very scary. Sometimes it scares me personally. And it has scared a lot of Westerners that said it is impossible. I love it when I hear it from them. You said it's impossible. Now we are back. Now you'll be saying Aje Black. An amazing software. It's a B2B software. That is the product that actually powers the school from the scratch. Because people that were coming could not afford to fund what they need to be taught here. So this is actually bigger than this. But you barely know this. You know this. Are you with me? So this is to give an example. If we can do it, then you too can do it. Production. So what does that mean? SQI should reproduce itself. What have we been able to do amazing stuff that scares people all around the world until they see it. I've had meeting with white people before on Zoom, and until they see it, they keep on saying, how can that be possible? So we now want to reproduce, multiply ourselves, because we cannot do it all. Okay? So we want you to be able to do such amazing thing as well. You may go online and set up edu for if you have a parent that has a school, hospital, a business, set it up and see the wonders. It transforms everything you are doing physically, digitalize it immediately, AI powered, and you will almost be doing nothing because the software is there to handle it, interacting with each other. Very powerful. All right, please continue. So I have mentioned this part. Today, we have an amazing software that displays side by side with global software. And for the school, we now have alumni that owns fintech organization, edtech organization, medtech companies. On the scholarship group yesterday, I saw you posted Mayowa, who owns 2 startups. He has worked for global companies, now he owns 2 startups. One of them is a logistics. It's not here, Logitech. Now, we have so many people that are now employed in tech companies here in Nigeria. It would have been so painful if our tech companies has to be employing Indians to work for them. But today, our tech companies even prefer indigenous developers. And now, to an extent, we have better reputation. The reputation is, there is this scamming part there. But the reputation has improved with at least we can do it. What does that mean? If companies can come here and invest in indigenous products, a very good example is Paystack, right? What was the investment amount? About $200 million. There is now the confidence that, oh, it's possible in Nigeria. It's possible in Africa. Do you see that things are changing? Can you see that with me? So let's go to the next slide. All right. So, talking about the training, the school, it didn't just happen. Now, oh, we want to have trainings, we'll train people, we'll reproduce ourselves. Things don't just work. Get used to it. Things don't just work. Get used to it. So at first, we have challenges about personnel. Okay? Who are those that will join us and help us to train others? We tried to employ university graduate computer science students, but there was nothing that could be given. Nothing. So, how did we solve that? We began to train people from scratch. So it doesn't matter at that time whether you have computer science degree or you are just a secondary school holder. Are you interested? Come into SQI. That's how we started. So this problem came up and we solved it with this. Then the next one. Power. How many people agree that this one is it's not universal? Okay, universal in Nigeria. Power. After teaching people how to code, there is no way you can do well while you are coding and you are not even it just being in your mind that you are not sure when the lights will go off or not. That alone is enough to take a large percentage in your mind away. So you are now monitoring NEPA with 60% capacity of your mind. You are coding with 40%. You can't be good. Then you are teaching in classroom, and all of a sudden, the generator you have been managing and then you have to switch to board. You write your code and run it on the board. Does it work? So that was another problem. Now, this problem set us back for about 3 years. Something that we wanted to happen 2008. But because of this problem, we have to start training people, to train people. So about 2 to 3 years was taken away. So that's what I want you to take note of when we talk about resilience. It was as if we have been defeated. We can be explaining it. Nobody to engage, nobody to work with us, nobody to employ for this task. But we only took it. See, it only set us back. Then we rebound. Your ability to rebound after a failure is another definition for resilience. Are you following what I'm talking about? Now, let me use this analogy to explain something to you. Have you seen a building block before? A building block, all right? Keep the picture in your mind. Now, have you also seen a balloon before? A blown balloon. Keep that picture also in your mind. Now, if I have a box like this, that box is too small for both the block and the balloon. Which think we between the block and the balloon? Afraid to fail? The balloon, what bigger than the block, is a problem. But what is different from the balloon and in comparing the block is that the balloon has ability to compress failure, look like it again. It has the ability to rebound, press. It's tight. But after passing through, it's rebounded. But a block, we want to push itself through. And so when failure hits you, boom, you some set in your mind, you have spent money on it. Then it will just take a little time. If you accident, you will. It's foundation for success. Go and ask successful before. There have been times that just go and story. Matter of very serious problem. Everybody was complaining. Full stop. But some people say, you get what I'm talking about? So we went ahead, and then that's why the campus. You will hit him. He's not going down. He's coming at you. Keep hitting him. He's coming at you, and he's just looking to strike you once, just once. A great fighter that before you enter, you are paying for tickets. All right. Before you finish paying for ticket, they will announce to you that that's the kind of fighter. You have to be like him. Get punched. He enjoys getting punched. Just keep coming at you. So when you are being punched by life, just keep. Come on. We did the ISPs just appear by themselves. MTN, Econet, they appear with 2G, all right? And then, sincerely, there were only 2G phones. Now, as time goes on, they went to 3G, you pictures, and they went to now. There are times that nature just brings solutions to you. You don't have to fight it by yourself all the time. Like Pelumi said, we stole their own solution. And everybody starts, you can have internet on your phone. It's possible before. You have to get to a cyber cafe. Next one. The mind. Power. The excuses you were giving before was that, not enough power. That's why I could not finish my assignment. That's why I'm not good at coding. That's why I'm not good at design and the likes. But now you have power. Why are you still failing, bro? Why? What's your problem? Line of thought is a problem. A big one. Well, one, when you don't can do it. Not two, when you have some attitude. Yes, you can do it, but if you to communicate, which the thought in class was one keeping you down. You were actually better than all the programmers they brought around the world, but you could not speak. And a closed mouth is what? So you just have bad attitude, you know, like any correction, you lose your I love that. Please. Any correction. See, if I want to work with you, I want to employ you, and I realize that you have problem with corrections, I will run from you. Because in working together, there will be so many things. Back and forth. This is not good. Like serious ones. So if you have shown that sign, I will avoid you. This one is going to be a problem. So to solve that, we brought up MindTalk to speak to your mind about those other important things, including resilience. So that you will not just have coding skills and you lack resilience. Next one. Then we face skeptical employers. Employers that are skeptical and be like, can he really do it? Can they do it? I think it's better we bring a developer from the US, so I can't. It was a real problem. So can you imagine if we continue to produce developers, to produce, ICT solution providers, and they could not get a place to practice their skills, they are going to get discouraged. All right? So how did we fix that? We build reputation. We built reputation with the organization. We ensure anyone they mistakenly take, we give them the best. Anyone. That's why when some people shows up and say, I want to pay for SQI certificate. Say, is it not money? I will pay now. My son wants to travel out. And they don't understand why we say no. You get what I'm talking about? They don't understand why we say no. Now, I was saying no then to people that just want it cheaply has helped reputation. A guy was here last week, came with a very nice car, nicer than my own. He finished from SQI. He's working out to Shogo. And said the company he's working with, at that place, he said someone joined them recently. And when the person heard that he is from SQI, he started shouting, screaming and saying, what good go! What good go! So he said when he tried to find out why, said the fellow worked with Andela in Lagos. And there he met some SQI, alumni there. And they were badass. Show you that assignment they have almost used assignment to break your neck. They now bring one small job at work. You finish it when others are still saying, give me 2 weeks. So when he met him, they say, reputation. That's the same thing that is opening up opportunities for more of you. Today, people that had big position at big organizations, they were being told to go and bring people from their clan. You know what that means, where they came from. Abib joined Nigerian bureaus as a developer. In a short while, they promoted him. He started working with international bureaus. In a short while, they didn't just promote him. He started working as a lead engineer there. Are you getting what I'm talking about? With White. Then they began to tell him, bring more people from where you came from. So sometimes in your group, there are some great men there that are just silent. So if you spam the group, you are just doing anyhow. They are already avoiding you. And they are watching your interactions. Are you getting what I'm talking about? So when that word comes, bring people from where you came from, they know who to talk to. They know who to engage. So there are even some job posting that were not dropped in the group at all. It just went straight to someone, and they are usually the biggest ones. Someone with reputation. Because reputation is not only about organization, it's about individuals as well. So let's go to the last one for training. Then, who agrees with me that to obtain training, a quality training costs money? It doesn't cost, Sabi. Please check the balances of all these people. I'm not sure they have paid. So how did we solve this? People wanted to have quality training. But hey, money, they are passionate. Then we introduce the next slide. We introduce the scholarship program to solve the challenges of money. Okay, that's where the solution arm comes in. Solution arm, like I said, is a B2B software, business to business. That's why it's not popular among you. It's not something you download and but businesses use it heavily. We want you to fund the fund from there, help assist us, with training at SQI. But even with that, it was still not working because we have these challenges. Number one of it is what? Unserious, uncommitted fellows, full of excuses. Something shall happen. No, he will never complete his assignment. And he will have reason. So how did we solve that? The scholarship is not for everyone. There should be an IQ test that will test for your attention, your attentiveness, your ability to think deep, your commitment. The scholarship test is designed to frustrate you. You search for something. It's only those who are committed at I must get this training that will finish that test. It's intentional because we don't want uncommitted fellow. So you see some people after 15 minutes say, oh, test yẹn ti le jù. Kò fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀. Ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún kó máa lọ. It's not ready. Such person can discourage the effort here. So this solves this problem. The next one. 10 responses. If it's opened throughout the year, one person might show up today. And a whole instructor. Instructor is the most expensive resource in your training. Your instructors, most expensive. Followed by the facilities, the power, and the likes. So imagine if in a classroom, just one person applied and full scholarship. That would be frustrating. So how did we solve that? Make it a period in a year where everybody can come together at once. Problem, solution. Are you learning from that? Problem, solution, problem, solution, problem. We are not using solar to solve this. Different problems, different solutions. Please learn from that. Write down your challenges and begin to think, ruminate. One day, the solution will just pop up. One day. Next, we have the physical test course. And I want to today appreciate someone here in the person of Mr. Yemi Ojo, the HOD of AI and Data Science Department. God bless you, sir. When you're looking for first set at SQI. Now, in 2011, when we said, okay, let's roll out the scholarship test, which was the first year. This year's scholarship is the 14th year. We started checking what it will cost to provide the test for at least 1,000 people. Hey!
This is too much. Aside the publicity, the hall, the desk, the computer, the connection. What? Even the money is too much just for the test alone. You have not started training. That was almost shutting us down. Then Mr. Yemi said that why don't we, is that not not what we are doing here? Why don't we create a CBT system? Go and check it. There was nothing like that in Nigeria as of 2011. When the JAM started, when did they start CBT? 2014. I don't think it was that early. But no matter the years, 2014, right? Good. SQI started CBT 2011. Someone just rose up his hand, was not afraid to fail, and he helped us solve this problem. So we programmed the test. We went digital, and then we made people do it in batches, and that problem of huge costs was solved. Are you still with me? So what's the final problem that was solved here under scholarship? Misaligned expectations. People that comes for the scholarship, we begin to think that we wanted to send them abroad. Then after the test, their parents will come and say, "Ọmọ mi win the scholarship. Ìjọ ò ní ó lọ." I beg you. Our mission is for Africa. Then we thought of, we have to fix this. That's why every year our scholarship exercise now comes with a theme, like a focus, something we are facing at that moment. All right, a problem we are using, the scholarship to solve at that moment. So this year we are making AI gods, AI pros, AI experts. All right, people that will be able to match up with the current trend today. That you don't show up anywhere and they feel like, oh, you are too small. Are you following me? So when we say gods, go to the next one. When we say gods, what do we mean? Of course, the gods, small letter gods, just like the scripture says, ye are what? Gods. Like, did you see that? Notice that in our anthem. What is the part of mind? It said mind. Very good. The anthem says mind, the greatest invention of all time. There is no other invention that is greater than the mind. Out of it came every other invention. So it said the greatest invention of all time. Invented by who? The creator. To make us what? Co-creators. So that we too can begin to create. Co-creators. The creator, co-creators. So, co-creators, AI gods. AI gods. So you now have the ability, not just, there will be the level to use, there will be the level to create. Everything you have it here. Okay? So, I may not be able to say much about this. I wish to. So I will just paraphrase. The amazing impact of AI so far. So maybe you make some research after today's meeting. We already know that AI is like your superpower. Have you watched those super movies before? Where there will be a problem. And everybody will be shouting helplessly. A tall story building. Somebody's about to fall. Helplessly. They could not do anything. Then Superman will just appear. And we just do like this, like my child. Then it will go up. And everybody say, wow. That power to do what others could not do easily is now available for everyone. It's called AI. So today, someone that does not go past primary school might be able to type better English because of AI. than someone who is a PhD. AI, superpower. So PhD will be looking like, what? Primary school, how come? AI is not a Superman. So this AI matter, affects every field, every career, no matter what you do today. Have you chatted with ChatGPT before and asked him about agriculture and he does not explain to you? Anything. He can give you step by step of anything. Okay, there is this man. He has 40 years in agriculture. But this small boy just started 2 months ago. But now he's doing amazing things that this man does not even know. When they appear on the field, they both saw the problem. He turned to the side and checked. And then he went ahead and he did it. And the man looked at him and said, superpower. That is the power we want to give you all this year. That superpower. That will give you an edge. Make you a Superman. And you have been seeing it in various fields. I must tell you, if today I have a secretary that has AI as his or her superpower and was able to make AI arrange my schedule automatically. AI can listen to your meetings and, transcribe the meeting automatically. One person is able to get so many things done at a spot. I would prefer that secretary than one other secretary with no superpower. Because anything you like Superman. Because anything you like Superman. Show one. The same thing with a lawyer. If you have a case and you have a lawyer that has AI with him, and the lawyer is saying, if we do it this way, do it that way, how will it end? The lawyer says, you will spend 6 years in prison. Don't let us do it that way. In your presence, okay, what if we go through this channel and say this to the judge? The AI has the ability to check through previous records, how cases are being solved, and they can do that within a second, tell you the result. This one is worse. It's life imprisonment. Okay. Don't let us try that one. Until you get the right approach, you will prefer that lawyer. And the ones like Lai. Don't tell her you. I say, how much will you pay lawyer? You are not even sure of the result yet. So whatever you do, you're a medical doctor, a barrister, an engineer, whatever you do, AI is your superpower. AI is your what? Next one. So, as time goes on, we are going to be having AI gods versus AI devils. The devils have his angels too. Abi? AI gods versus AI devils. There will be people that want to use AI against you. If they are better at using AI, Otilo, you are gone. You must also be able to have that shield. And when they try to use AI, okay, those supermen, who are those that used to fight a lot, that fight each other? I think Batman is, I don't know. Batman is an enemy to most of them. I'm not sure. But there is one I'm sure of that is most recent. They call that one Thanos. Abi? He has special powers. And he was able to deal with the good ones. Empower yourself. All of you, I want you to go to the studio, SQI Studio. Take a picture. Tell them to put Superman wings behind you and put a high there. You are ready to fly this year. So if a policeman, law enforcers have to deal with law violators that uses AI, no way. You dey catch Superman? That's why no matter what you do, even if you are a policeman, you have to equip yourself with AI skills. So, finally, the scholarship exercise. The door of SQI is open, wide open. No excuse for you not to make it in ICT. No excuse at all. The major obstacle is meant to be removed with this. So at this point, I am going to just leave this stage to the next person that will take your questions about the scholarship test and ask with the mind to look foolish. Don't be afraid to appear. Just ask any question. It might be the key to get this thing done. Ask any question. Some of you might want to ask, this kind of question, is it there? What kind of question is out there? Ask anything. Because you should be resilient at getting your results, just like SQI. Thank you so much.
Can I get Atama? Atama, 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 Labaku, Labaku, Labarina. All right, thank you very kindly, everybody. I hope you've been enjoying yourself. Briefly, can you stand up? Can you stretch? Stretch, yeah. It's been a while. Thank you very kindly, Director. That was a powerful session. Thank you. Stretch yourself. You may sit as kings and queens. All right. Sit as supermen and superwomen. All right. That was a quite eventful talk, and I was following all along to see where it will end. Very brilliant, sir. Thank you very kindly. All right. So we are at the real deal now, the AMA session. And I want you to give clapping ovation for my dear colleague and friend, Mr. Oluwaseyi Odekumaya.
Mr. Green, I'm coming to come and take picture so that you put cape at my back. A round of applause again for our director. Questions and answers. If you have questions, can we see your hands up so that the mic can be passed across? Regarding the scholarship test. Questions? Remember, don't be afraid to look foolish. All right, so we have one. Any more? Okay. 2. All right. 3. Beautiful. Questions begets questions.
Well done, sir. Actually, my question is that when someone have a business that is doing, for example, maybe like a tomato selling, so and the person wants his business to be more boom and more well known to people in terms of, the main needs people. So how could the person sell this market? So how could he had helped? So from what we found.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me past that?
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, sometimes I notice if I have an idea about something, like I want to invest on something, and I'm doing my own way. So by the time I'm discussing with another person, I realize that the thing that is new to me is no more new again, because another person is already is taking the course. So, but how to invent what I know like what I know to come true. Like I now discovered that teamwork help better. That how can we mingle with people that can make you achieve your goal? Like now, I work on sound sometimes. I'll be like, how can I find a company that can support me because I build sound speakers, connect some kind wires. I can I see someone, find someone that can collide together to become one. Because someone that created a laptop, I realized that it's not only one person. Someone created the panel, someone created the screen, the hard drive, and everything became one now. So I have some things inbuilt in me that I need like a group of people that can join so that it can become one. So and how can that be possible? I'm very sorry that I'm shy.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, I have two questions. Number one is concerning the first. I think I met the book review, and the person was talking about ideas and all, and he mentioned he got to the level of implementation of the idea, and he said that's another thing entirely. And I understand what he means by that, because getting fund to implement your idea is very difficult. Now, and one of the ways to get fund to implement your idea is using other people's money. I think it was said by Norman Vincent Peale, using other people's money to start. But in Nigeria, how easy is it to use other people's money? If you understand what I'm saying, loans, cooperatives, and the rest, because you are in the business for the past 16 years. My second question is concerning the scholarship. I want to say that I've been a recipient of the scholarship 2 years ago, and it really helped my training year. So my question is, can a former recipient you don't even know where I'm going. Can a former recipient take the scholarship again? Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon everyone. Yes. There is nothing new upon the surface of the earth. So my question is that we have so many things in the past. How can you do things, something that is unique, even though there are products in the past, and make your own peculiar from other people, and with good marketing strategy?
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Now, my question was briefly based on what you said the other time. Before, we need to get a child due to the failure or challenge we're facing. Right, there are some kind of failure whereby we have to cry. We pass through kind of emotional crying, like crying, before we can pass through the kind of situation. And the technique of getting excited. It's not, to me, it's not all talented, like, someone can easily get excited. But how can someone get excited and pass through that kind of talented or equivalent? Because I have to face that kind of situation myself. I may be facing a particular, I can start up a project on myself, doing that and I just start up a project. But to get to a point whereby I will be very, like, something is missing in that project that will drop me down. And I am talking of passing through smiling. I will have it smiling that I feel the coach and I'm smiling at it. It's not really true. How will I pay that kind of? Do that my question, sir?
So some other people are raising their hands. I think we should answer some of those questions first. Then we'll come back to those sets. I think another thing that we can do is if you can write them down so that it can be a lot faster. Can we have a round of applause for the director so that he can answer some of these questions? So I'll just read some of the questions out again.
Okay.
So how somebody is selling tomato, how is that going to, how can AI improve, the person that is selling tomatoes? How can the person get to sell more tomatoes to more people using AI? So that's the first question.
I don't know how AI can help you everywhere. All I just know is that it can help you, and you have to find out. If I am selling potato, I will make, is it potato or tomato? Tomato, okay. If I'm selling potato, I will make research to see how AI can make me get better customers. Okay? Although even AI is even too much for that. AI is overkill. You can get to know that. I have noticed that even in Ogbomoso, you just taking your something like tomato on an Okada, and you go on just a 5-kilometer journey, that tomato can have double or triple its value. I don't want to mention that. I will not give you the idea. Just from one place to the other. But because you do not know that the value at which they place on tomato there, just 5 kilometers away from me, is more than here, makes you to keep selling less. That's just an example. With AI, I can go into farming or potato, and I will do better than what other farmers have been doing. Maybe a bigger this thing. AI helps to test soil, You can understand the composition of the soil and the result you can get out of it. So many ways. I love that extreme example of tomato. You want to shame AI. That can it help tomato selling? Thank you. The next one.
All right. So the next one says that anytime he wants to do a big project, he finds it difficult to do alone. So he feels, how can he get other like-minded people that can contribute to other parts of that?
Okay, that's also a very good one. The first thing I would like to tell that person is that people seem to join the moving train. Do you know that? Do you observe that whenever you go to the bus stop as well, you want to ensure it's the bus that is ready to move. That's why now they trick you. They pack people. You now sit down in the bus to make you feel like it's ready to move. Then you enter, then they excuse you after a while. It's normal. Nobody wants to be tied down. You have to show signs that will make people want to be part of what you are doing. Okay? And the second thing is that when your project appears too big, just try to remember how you used to solve the problem. Whenever they place in front of you big mountain of Eba. That's a challenge before you. They are telling you, get this big thing into your stomach. How will it enter your mouth? Impossible. It's too big. But what do? Nobody explained this to you now. You just start cutting it. If you cut it, it's too big. You put it down, you cut it again. So take the project as big as they are. What is that part you can start attending to now? That part may just be writing it down. Do you even have it written down? You write it down. Have you written it down? Can you express it with excitement? When you do that, then people begin to, to join. It seems he knows where he's going. It seems he has a future. They want to be part of it. I can also assist you with this. I can do this. And you're already doing that because you are here. You also move with like-minded people. Naturally, when you are in the right environment, right people will come together with you. All
right. So the next question is, he read somewhere that it's important to use other people's money to fund your businesses. So how can you go about doing that in Nigeria, for example?
Even though I have never been comfortable with that statement, I don't like that statement. But that's the normal thing that happens. You use other people's invention to make your own invention. But when you say use other people's money, you go about using that statement, nobody wants to give you their money like you want to use me. My money is my energy converted to cash. My sleepless nights, my time, my stress, I have converted it to. I have saved it in cash. Now you just want to come and take that energy. That's how it sounds. Other people's money. It sounds selfish. Now, when you take it in a different way, and I approach you, I did that, while I was very young. I just thought of a business idea. I used to think of so many ideas. This was in 2001, and there was no money to do it. But there is this boy. He's from a wealthy home. He has everything we do not have in our family in his self-contained. Big sound system, AC, everything is there. So I went to him. Let's do business together. So how am I going to tell my dad that I want to do business? He will not support me. Let's sell everything in your... That sounds so serious. We sold it, we sold everything. And how was he able to agree with that statement? Because I was able to show him what will come out as a benefit for him from that business. And he loved it. And he received the energy too. So when you approach people to get something, don't approach them empty-handed. Approach with something. All right? Nobody works in a place without going with something. Okay, you want to work in a big organization and they are going to pay you, right? You didn't go empty-handed. You went with a value to exchange for their money. Now, cooperative will give you money. They have what are they getting from it? Interest. Bank will want to give you money. It is the interest they are using it to run the bank. They need to borrow you money. So you are exchanging it. So when you are exchanging it, it's not just in your own case to ensure that you are able to intelligently use it in a way that you don't disappoint your friend that you have pushed to sell everything. So you need other people's money, but don't approach it selfishly. Go with something in your hand.
All right. So the next question, which is pertaining to the scholarship test, is can a former recipient use the scholarship test? And I just remember the story of Mrs. Ellen, who works in UK. So one of the things that she said was that the first time she took the scholarship, she learned software engineering. She took the scholarship again, learned cybersecurity. I think she took it a third time.
Yeah, she took it 3 times.
For something else.
Yeah.
So yes, if you're a former recipient, you can take the scholarship test again.
And when you finally make it, remember.
All right. So someone said that there is nothing new. How can you come up with something unique and also with a good marketing strategy?
Correct. There is something new. And there are new things every year. There is nothing new. We have been moving, transporting ourselves from the first day that God created us. Okay? We have been transporting ourselves. But somebody thought of it and said, okay, why don't we climb bus? Have we? And then somebody said, okay, why don't we sit down in the cart? And then 2 horses will be pulling, 2 horsepower. Have we? And somebody said, why don't we put gasoline? Maybe it's still movement. Nothing new under the sun. They were just adding to what is already existing. There has been AC. Then one day somebody thought of it. Okay, what about inverter AC? There has been AC. The day I saw Dix, I remember my father's, what do they call this thing? Tumbler, turntable, gramophone, all those things. Turntable so big, sunny a day. The pin will just come on it and then start playing. You'll be wondering. A pin on it, very big. Now some people came with smaller discs. Is it not still the same thing, but smaller? Is it not still the same thing, but smaller? So what we are doing is just improving. And that's why some people are ahead of us here. They believe that they must do something new every year. iPhone, what now? 17. I mean, by 2025, 17 is sure. It will still be the same phone, but something must have been added. Now, that belief, you need it, please. Else we'll remain behind. See, everything we are using here is painful. When I look at it, I don't like it. The screen, not from here. Camera, not from here. Microphone, not from here. AC, not from here. Is something wrong with us? Why are some people just enjoying that creative ability that God has given us? That we are not. You get what I'm talking about? So, when you take on that belief in you, that there must be a space for improvement, you always find it. You are not creating it new, you are adding to it. Make it better, make it more beautiful, make it louder. All right? Anyway, next one.
So the person asked about attaching emotions to challenges. That there are some challenges that is difficult to laugh at. That those ones will bring out tears from your eyes. So how do you still smile at those challenges that are difficult to smile at?
I agree with you. You can't smile at every challenge. I have cried before. There are some that you cry. There is no way you want to smile, you cry. But whether, I said emotion. Whether you are happy or you're sad, it helps to imprint it in your mind, make you do something to hit by all means. Now, let me encourage you with this. I love challenges. The most difficult one, that's where I face. And one thing I use to encourage myself always is that the fact that it's difficult is ensuring that we will not be plenty at the other side. We will not be many. Are you following what I'm talking about? If the challenge is so simple and everyone here were able to solve it, it will lose value. It will become cheap or free. Recently, I just discovered that what's the name for Ewedu? You are giving me too many names. I just found it in my compound. Plenty. Too many. Where are they appearing from? Then I was about cutting those grasses. And my wife said, let's remove those, important leaves first. Then we took everything. We took it and we distributed it in church. Everybody went home with plenty. Now, is it those ones that you want to sell away to? They have solved it too. So when things are too cheap, when challenges are too easy, you can't last there. It will soon become free. But when they are hard, so many people we stop, we leave it, and there will only be few people that will be able to solve it. So let that encourage you. It's difficult to be, thank God. Means by the time I solve it, won't be many at the other side. Next one.
All right. So I think we've answered this partially. Can an already enrolled student but yet to complete up levels, can they apply for the scholarship to pay up for the remaining levels?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you are to answer that.
Yes.
How are you answering it?
So if peradventure they've taken up until level 1 to level 3, and then they want to take level 4 to level 6. Yes.
In that case, normally the scholarship is meant for a fresh program. But if you seriously need it for the rest of your levels, there are arrangements for you. All right? Okay, you will see some senior officers to ensure that you can do that. And a good news this year is that before, you could only apply your scholarship to maybe first 3 levels, first 2 levels, so that SQI will not also go bankrupt. But now, you can apply it to as many levels as you want to. Yeah. Even if it is a full scholarship. Yeah. All right.
All right. I learned programming, but as much as I love it and I have a passion for learning it, I still find it difficult to connecting it with anything I do so far. Python to be precise. How do I go about seeing the connectivity to things around me?
Okay, have you observed problems around you? Look for problem. Problem, always. Problem.
Always.
Look for problems. Look for challenges around you. And always think, how can I use this to solve this? Has it been solved before? How can I improve on it? There is always a problem around you. And we are in Nigeria now. Oh, there were problems to me. Yes, sir. Oh, yes. Please. Mr. Yemi Ojo solved our scholarship problem. Thank you. He said you should see him. And he's the HOD of AI and data science. So please see him after the program for free.
So my question is that I have a website
Okay.
that has good products and services to render to people, but people are not turning up to it. In this term, what can I do?
You have identified another problem. It happens to everybody. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Oh my God.
Solve it. Now you know it's not easy. Yeah. You know, when we first arrived in Ogumosho, we left Lagos, we left Ikeja, we came to Ogumosho for some deeper reasons that I can't share now. And we printed quality flyers, MTN standard. We distributed it everywhere. We are like, yes, we are now here. On my Yabo, I'm saying. Nobody showed up. 3 months we were sleeping. So the truth is that, let me summarize this way. See, people don't buy from you because you have something to sell. People buy trust. They buy reputation. That's why we beg you. Start building your reputation as early as possible. People buy reputation. That's why you go to market and you don't say, I want to buy toothpaste. You either say close up. You don't say, I want to buy, what do we call it? What?
Indomie.
You say Indomie. When what you are looking for is noodles. Reputation. You are buying reputation. If Indomie has been failing people, you will not remember them. So, that person, start with people around you. Encourage them to visit the website. Start somewhere. Sometimes some of you want to invite, you want to hold a program. You now want to invite Dangote. Don't share now. Invite your friend to come and speak on your program that can speak very well. You will now use that to show another person that is next. Then that is next and next. Sometimes when I see program and you are inviting me, I want to see what you have done before. But if you have not been doing it before, I will get to your place and you will just rubbish everything that day. Maybe you will explain. I've been like that. I traveled to a place, like I dropped so many important things, and I traveled, I go to that place, and the organizer of the program was explaining to me that, our speaker, they brought it yesterday, this morning. It's not working again. People are many. The speaker, when you speak into it, it's just doing. So as I entered that hall, I knew I am here to suffer. Like, So he knew also, and he approached me and said, we can't do it again today. And you are so comfortable telling me after I've arrived here that we can't do it today again. An experienced person will know that you need backups. This might fail, that might fail, this one might fail. When you see quality program, a lot of work has gone in there. So that website starts with family and friends. If your friend will not be interested, why should I be interested? If your family is not interested. So when they are now visiting, now use that to show. You now use that to show 10 visits visited under 24 hours. They are just your family. But at least you have something to show. That will now bring 100 people to come and check. What are the 10 people looking at? You get. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Yes, sir.
All right. So what does the exam for the scholarship entail?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's swing it together.
So for the scholarship exams, like the director has said earlier, the tests are generally IQ tests. So you don't have to know programming, you don't have to know coding, you don't have to know the English in this world. They just test for your intelligence. How can you pay attention to details? Will you be committed to the questions when it's looking like you're not finding the answers? You will not give up, because we don't want you to give up on your course here. And there is a video on this that has been made prior to this time. You can go ahead and watch that video. Immediately you register, a link will be sent to your mail where you can watch the video to prepare ahead for the test. Then, can I learn about machine learning and how can it be used to solve problems in the medical space? If the director has anything to add to this, I just remembered one of our students, Peter. He was a part of the global GD Google Solutions entry, and that was just last week. They had the top 3 in the entire world, and he was a part of the team that got to the top 3. And the problem that they actually solved was along the lines of machine learning for the medical space. I think they could use the applications to scan people's eyes to see patterns, whether their eyes are already going bad or not. There are particular diseases where you can quickly check so that those people can begin to take drugs very, very early, and then they can find a way to prevent it. So yes, it can be deeply applied to the medical space.
And that's a very, very good example. You've been hearing the word data analysis. When the camera or whatever is looking at your eyes, it's receiving data. The color of the eyes, that's data, all right? And so on. Now, it can now analyze that data and predict what's going to happen to that eyes or what's happening to that eyes. So it's very applicable, and that has just been answered. Thank you, Mr. Shi.
Thank you, sir. Can you please explain what the programs in SQI entail? So basically, the programs at the college are all ICT based. We don't do accounting at this point in time. So courses like software engineering, hardware engineering, packages.
Yes, but in a technological way. All right? We don't teach you balance sheets. All right? We teach you what you already know how to do, and teach you how to do it in tech.
All right.
Yes.
So courses like software engineering, robotics engineering, artificial intelligence, graphics, UI, UX, 3D, 2D animation, almost any course in ICT that you can think about, we offer at the college.
And the person can check more or details on the website as well.
At edu.sqi.ng. Do we have any other questions?
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any questions from online? Multimedia team, can we please check if we have any questions from online? Very quickly.
And I hope the flyers are already distributed. Please take some flyers home for friends and families.
All right. So while we're trying to wait for questions from online, I have some very important announcements to take as well. It has become very mandatory for all students to put on their ID cards when coming to the campus. You may be denied entry without it. So if you don't have your ID card on, so that we are sure that you are who you are and not somebody else, please ensure that you wear your ID cards. JavaScript students who have classes by 10 a.m. should wait behind in the main hub after MindTalk. The beta semester examination for NID students starts July 15. And if you need to balance up your tuition, please ensure you do so. There will also be a meeting with all core members and IT students immediately after the MindTalk event at the admission office. And the 2024-2025 admission portal for our NID course, for those that are interested in taking a 2-year degree or diploma at the college, it will be opening up in August 10, 2024. Thank you. Multimedia team, do we have any other questions? Okay. Are there some there? Thank you so much. Oh, on YouTube. Whoa. Okay.
I think there are plenty. You might just have to pick a few.
Okay. Can a student who has already paid for a full course, which is running to next year, do the scholarship after being through with the current course?
Yeah, there will be another one next year. So you might take this one for fun. Yeah.
All right. So I think that is the other ones that I can see for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I think that will bring us to the end, right?
Yes, sir.
So please say to someone, be resilient.
Be resilient.
Sọ pé má gbà. Sọ fún pé má gbà.
Mafo.
That Hausa word nko.
Dan chwe.
Nachiri.
Nachwe. Nachewa.
Kankiri. Nachewa. Nachewa. Sọ fún pé nachewa.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending the Mind Talk. Have an amazing day ahead. Okay. To yo. What's about over you? Yes.
Hello, everyone. Please, before you move on, take at least 2 or 3 of these. Thank you, protocol. They are giving them already. You can get from me too. Take 2 or 3. Tell somebody to tell somebody. Tell people in your houses, in your area. Show them the light too. If you know you have anybody that will be sending you the message of urgent 2K tomorrow, why don't you drag them to where you are now so that you do it all together? Tell them, my friend, let's grow together. I have no urgent 2K tomorrow. You to come and learn. Aha. I no grief for anybody. Hello, beautiful. Hello, ma'am. For you, enjoy.
With global, anything you want, when you.
Hello. Hello.
Get more from your budget with Google Credit when you.